No symphony can come about without the most important member, and that's the conductor. According to Rabbeinu Google, the purpose of the conductor is to set the tempo, ensure correct entries by the various members of the ensemble, and most importantly, to shape the phrasing of the music where appropriate. Everyone in this room, whether they daven in our shul, they live in our community, know that Kehillat Shiftei Yeshurun has the greatest conductors in Klal Yisrael. Rav Haber and Rebbetzin Haber, who lead our Kehillah, have brought us to this evening, which I'm entitling the Song of KSY. And it is a great kavod, a great honor to introduce our Rav, our conductor, Rav Haber, to share Divrei Bracha.
Thank you, Rabbi Leventhal, especially for thanking everybody. Birshus, the Rav Harashi, Shlita, and Birshus, the whole Tzibur. First of all, thank you, Hashem. It's very, very special. Baruch Hashem, when we came to this community, there's a few handful of very, very dedicated and hardworking people, people with a dream, people with a vision, and look what you've done. It's not about the building. Building is a symptom. It's about the people. Wonderful, wonderful group of people. I'm very, very proud. Very, very proud to be part of this wonderful Kehillah. Your efforts are moving. I wouldn't be able to do what you did, Rabbi Avram, of thanking everyone who worked so hard for the Kehillah, and especially in these last few weeks. There's too many names. I don't think you even hit them all. And too much to say we would be here for a week. The only exception I will make is that I'd like to thank Pinchas and Liba Rosenthal. I want to, where's Pinchas? Pinchas, Mrs. Rosenthal, your effort here is monumental. Your effort is inspiring, but your effort is totally unsurprising. I remember a couple of years ago, forgive me for divulging, I don't usually, but I'd like to right now. A couple of years ago, Pinchas came to me. We were just talking about is it possible even to build a building? Is it possible to create a real Kehillah? And Pinchas suggested that perhaps he would have an opportunity to move out and sell his very successful business and give all the money to the shul so we could build a building. True? None of that happened. But I never heard anybody say that before. Never. And that conversation inspired me. I want you to know this, Pinchas, that at that very moment, I decided that I'm going to do at least, I don't have a successful business to sell, but I'm going to do whatever I can do to make sure that with Hashem's help, this Kehillah would continue to grow and it would grow in a permanent home. So I do want to take the moment to ask the Tzibur, the whole Tzibur, to join me in giving a bracha to Pinchas and Liba, that they should have many good and healthy years together. They should be zocha to the miracles of Shalom in Eretz Yisrael and Shalom in your own lives. And together we should experience the Geula Shlema. Our Kehillah is a Kehillah with a very simple message. It won't take a long time to review. In a sentence, we respect all Jews. We object completely reject the categorization of Jews and the political and holier-than-thou system that's very, very common, unfortunately, in Israel today. Just about everybody in the room has left their lives behind in the United States, in Canada, in South Africa, in England, and who knows where, Germany, France. And they came with an attitude, and I think we've been able to develop the attitude of we have to do our part, make our contribution to Eretz Yisrael, be part of that cycle, be part of the history that's happening before our eyes. We are history. We are history. The Beis HaMikdash, Be'ezras Hashem, that we will all be zocheh to see, will not have a special azara for settlers, and another one for Haredim, and another one for Sfardim, and another one for Ashkenazim, and another one for Dati Leumi. There's one Beis HaMikdash. And we'll be there, and we'll be there together, and it'll be exactly as Hashem wants it to be. As it stands right now, too many people are not living their dreams, and the reason is because the way society is, we're living our fears. We're afraid of so many things. I'd like this evening to be an evening where we could all say to ourselves, we have no fear. Don't ever let anyone put you in any kind of a box. Never let anyone say that you or me or anybody here are not qualified to make a very, very significant contribution to Klal Yisrael. And do not be afraid. You know, we can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark, but it's such a tragedy when men and women are afraid of light, and we all have that light. If I had any one thing to teach, that would be it. You know, the Medrash says in Parshas Naso that Moshe Rabbeinu was not able to understand the half a shekel, the machzis hashekel. He couldn't get it. Hashem took a coin of fire, mitachas kisei hakavod. He took a coin of fire and he put it into the sky, shchir al gabe levana, black on white, and he showed Moshe Rabbeinu the matbeah shalesh. What did Moshe not understand about a coin? What's so difficult to understand about a coin? And if it was difficult to understand, why didn't Hashem just show him a coin? Why a matbeah shalesh? Such a dramatic story. And I think it's safe to say that Moshe Rabbeinu understood the coin, but he didn't understand the neshama in that coin. You know what takes place? Tachas kisei hakavod, that's the olam haneshamas. He took the coin mitachas kisei hakavod and he said, you could take a coin, you could buy ice cream with it, you could buy bananas with it, you could buy a potato with it, or you can change the world with that coin. That coin could be just a coin, or it could be a matbeah shalesh. The most mundane items in the world, Hashem taught, can turn into fire. You know, we can go into our kitchen and we can take a little bit of oil, shemen zayis, we can take a little bit of cotton, we can put it together in a little jar, we can light a fire. And what happens? You've taken a few agorot and you've turned it into light. You've turned it into energy. You've turned it into the one thing in this world, Hagashmi, which is the closest thing to Ruchani that we know. And that's Eish. That's the matbeah shel Eish. You can take a matbeah and you can make it into Eish. I'd like to say something. Over the last few weeks, I just saw that Matbeya Shalesh. Wasn't just Moshe Rabbeinu. I saw the Matbeya Shalesh in our Kehillah. I think all of us saw an Eish. We saw almost a miracle happen. We saw how people, their neshamas were ignited and they turned into fire. We saw how a simple coin, a simple phone call, a simple email turned into Kedusha. Everyone came together with their half a shekel. So not only did it accumulate almost $100,000, and not only over the last year have we accumulated, Baruch Hashem, with tremendous tefillah, almost $1 million. And not only have we almost completed a tangible building, or the shellet of a building on Nachal Dolev, and not only did we galvanize and homogenize our community into one, but we created Kedusha. We created Kedusha. I want everyone to know that we created Kedusha. And it was a type of Kedusha that even Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't comprehend. How can Kedusha come from this? But you know what? Today we're celebrating exactly that Kedusha. You know, we started this a couple of years ago by wondering who's going to let us build a Bayis LaHashem in Beit Shemesh. And now we're at a stage where we're ending this and we're saying, who's going to stop us? Nobody. Tonight, we have the huge privilege of having with us one of the outstanding leaders of Klal Yisrael, Rav Lau Shlita. Rav Lau, without you ever realizing it, you are one of my Rabbeim. You're one of my mentors. Besides for your heroism, which began early in your childhood, we all read the book. And besides for your remarkable scholarly articles in Divrei Torah, Sfarim that you've written, and besides for all of the different things that you've achieved for Klal Yisrael, what's so special to me is how your neshama has a place for every single Jew. Rav Lau has surpassed all labels. It's all behind him. It's all beneath him. You're there for every Jew. Rav Lau apologized for coming 2-3 minutes late because he stopped at a chasana to say a bracha under somebody's chuppah in Beit Shemesh. So your neshama has no borders, and therefore you are a Rav to all Jews. When I humbly requested Rav Lau to address our Kehillah, I went to Tel Aviv and I tried to keep it short in explaining who we are, and you readily agreed. I realized that not only is Rav Lau there for all Jews, you're there for me too. And that was very moving to me. I really, really admire this rare trait. I really, really want to be able to master it, and I want to be able to teach it to others. I'd like to ask Rav Lau to, first of all, give me a bracha that I should be zocha to also have a neshama for all Jews, because that is my dream. And I'd like to ask everyone to please give kavod to our very esteemed guest, Rav Yisrael Meir Lau Shlita.